Welcome back to Offseason Outlooks. Today we are talking the 49ers first round pick and what they should do with it. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm going Kenyon Sadiq here if he is available, and this is not an overreaction to the Kittle injury. Kenyon Sadiq is one of the most intangibly rich prospects in this draft, to quote James Gladstone. He has everything Shanahan should be looking for in a weapon, and he's the boon that this 49ers offense desperately needs. Look, CMC, abysmal yards per carry. Brandon Ayuk is going to be off the roster. Ricky Pearsall can't stay off in the field. George Kittle, you lose him for the majority of the season. They're dry with weapons. This is not the Deebo Samuel, old Brandon Ayuk, healthy George Kittle, younger CMC offense that brought them all the way to the Super Bowl. But that's okay, because Kenyon Sadiq should be there. Listen, this guy is a freak athlete. Came into the season number 11 on Bruce Feldman's freaks list. He has a 41.5-inch vertical jump. That is the same as Zach LaVine at the 2014-2015 NBA Combine. Except this guy is 6'3" and reportedly got up all the way to 255 pounds this season for Oregon. He came in to Oregon at 220 pounds. He developed all 4 years at Oregon, was in a crowded tight end room with Terrence Ferguson. He never gave up. Never gave up in the process. He's a great kid, never entered the transfer portal. He's from Idaho Falls. That is a town of 900 people. If you've ever heard him in an interview, he's very introspective, very well-spoken. He's a good kid. Dan Lanning speaks extremely highly of him, and you know how valuable his opinion is in NFL circles. Look, with all the drama going around the 49ers right now, with the power station, you had the whole entire Brandon Ayuk saga, you have a guy in Kenyon Sadiq. Not just a guy as a football player, but as a person, you have a guy. At Oregon this last season, 8 touchdowns, 145.5 passer rating when targeted. He's played a big role in Dante Moore's success this season. He caught 42 out of 54 targets. Reliable. It's exactly what they need to get Brock Purdy entering this season, as they're probably losing his only security blanket now after injuries in Juwan Jennings to free agency. Kittle's not going to be there. At University of Oregon, he was used as an XZ slot receiver, running back. He was used as an inline and wing tight end. He was great out of the motion, and you know how much Shanahan loves to exploit motion. Shanahan uses more 13 personnel, that's 1 running back and 3 tight ends, just further emphasizing how important the position is to the 49ers offense. He uses more of that 13 personnel than anyone in the league. And Kittle was the 4th tight end in target share with almost 22% of Brock Purdy's completed passes. Kenyon Sadiq can do everything, and he will fit Shanahan's scheme. I cannot imagine how eager Shanahan would be to implement this athletic freak into his offense. I don't think he's going to be able to pass up on him in the draft. I know the 49ers were last in the NFL in sacks. I know you're looking at an old Trent Williams, a terrible Spencer Burford, and yes, you're going to need replacements for them down the line, but listen, we're not going to be afraid to be bold. Like I said, I'm channeling my inner James Gladstone. We're looking at intangibly rich, and there is not a more impactful player at the tight end position than Kenyon Sadiq, and we know how important that position is for Shanahan and his offense. Just to re-emphasize how unique of a prospect Sadiq is, he's thrown touchdowns on 2-point conversions for the Ducks on plays that roll him out before really becoming the number 1 weapon on their offense. In his previous 2 years, he was a special teams standout. And this is really a theme with him. He embraces development. He embraced becoming a better blocker this season. He struggled to block in line in his earlier years. He's better in space, but he really improved at that as the season went on. He may still be an undersized blocker at 255, but he has incredible play strength, and that shows up on the tape. He also took a fake punt for them, so we know how much Shanahan likes to dial up these creative plays to throw defenses off their heels. He matches that. He reminds me of Tyler Warren. You can really do whatever. You can put him anywhere, and he'll be fine. Back to the intangibles. He power cleans 365 pounds and presses 435. If you've ever seen him, he looks like a freak of nature. He looks like Malik Mustafa if he was taller and even more jacked, if that's possible. Listen, the NFL is about creating mismatches and exploiting them, and he is a mismatch maker. Look, if I'm the 49ers, I'm looking at a young, high-flying Seattle Seahawks defense, a young Rams team who's got a lot of talent on defense. They got young coaches. They got young rosters. They are not going anywhere in the division. This division is going to be incredibly hard to compete in for the years to come. You need these kinds of guys. These are the guys you win with. The George Kittles, the CMCs, the Deebo Samuels when he was in his prime, the Brandon Ayuks when he was really rolling. He needs to sharpen his in-breakers. He's an underdeveloped route runner playing mostly out of the slot. I trust Shanahan to put him in the position to make the plays. There's less emphasis on real seam routes for tight end in the Shanahan offense. There is with George Kittle, but those quick throw passes, I really think Kenyon Sadiq is going to be able to do an amazing job with those. He runs 23.4 miles an hour. Just to put that into perspective, I know that was not in game, but the NFL's top speed in game for Jonathan Taylor was Jonathan Taylor this season at 22.38 miles an hour. This guy is a freak. 10% body fat, no injury history. They have all the reasons in the world to take him. I really feel like Shanahan feels like he can find serviceable linemen in the later rounds of the draft. You're not finding a guy as talented as Kenyon Sadiq at a skill position later in the draft. It just doesn't happen. He's the right pick, and I think Shanahan will make it. This has been Off-Season Outlook. Thank you for listening.